the small names, they're the names of leaders in the armies led by this man. He was a military leader at the time of the French Revolution, who then became emperor in 1804. And then the big names are the names of victories, areas conquered by the armies led by Bonaparte, who became Napoleon I in the center. You saw the wreaths, the flowers there? Yes? Yes? Say yes when I ask the question. I'm happy. That's on the tomb of the unknown soldier. Okay? For you Americans, it would be like the equivalent to Arlington, your monument in Arlington. In Canada, it must be in Ottawa somewhere, I would think, that you have a monument, yeah, to the unknown soldier. There you go, it's exactly the same thing here. It's the body of a soldier who fought in World War I. The Battle of Verdun in 1916. It was a huge slaughter, Verdun. Wars are usually like that. We are now on the most famous avenue of Paris. An avenue that is called... Don't get too excited, there's two of them. Keep some of the enthusiasm for later. There's quite a few around. You're even going to see the equivalent, the European equivalent too, in a minute. It's called Quick. Whee! And they're not very quick at serving you in there, I'm telling you. Now there's a lot of people who are convinced that this avenue is all about fashion designers. That's not true. There's some, like here on the right hand side.
Oh, Louis Vuitton. Slow down. Stop.
See, they're putting up the ropes for a queue that will stop there soon. Okay, now let me give you a tip. If you're interested in Louis Vuitton, do you want to look the part? Or you just want to do whatever? Do you want to go to the right shop?
Right shop
or not?
The right shop.
What do you mean by
the
right shop?
right Louis Vuitton.
Yes.
So that one fake?
No, it's not fake. What I am about to
The
say
right
is
price,
the following. No. There's several Louis Vuitton stores in Paris. Okay? The people who really have the money, like real money, they have their own, range of Louis Vuitton suitcases made and everything with their own initials on them, personalized and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
They never go to that one.
Really?
Because it's on les Champs-Élysées. It's way too tacky for them.
Really?
They go to the one that no one can see. Okay? They go to the real one. So that's where you want to go. You don't want to go to this one. The other one is not far from here. It's on an avenue that is called Avenue Montaigne, which is one of the streets in Paris where you have all the fashion designers. Okay? Because if you look at the stores here now, okay, we've just driven past H&M, Paul Mode, which you have Paul, which is a chain of, sandwich shops, Levi's. There's a Monoprix coming up on the left-hand side. They're all, or the vast majority of the stores here, are chains. Okay? It's the most famous avenue in Paris. It looks good for all those chains to have one of their stores here on the Champs-Élysées. It's advertisement, it's marketing, and that's what it is. It's an avenue that, was open at the time of the king who built the Palace of Versailles. Quite a few of you, well, some of you are coming to Versailles. Louis XIV, King of France, where in the late 1600s he wanted, this was all forest here at the time, The idea was to cut through the forest and open a sort of a big alley, a big road to go from the center of the city all the way west, and towards Versailles and then Saint-Germain-en-Laye, which were the two most important residences outside Paris. That was the idea. And then along the 1700s, the bottom of the Champs-Élysées started to develop, and then in the 1800s here. See the last building here in this block? At the very top, where there's Pomme de Pain and the cinema, at the very top, there's a space that you can rent out for your private parties once you've bought your Louis Vuitton bag in the right shop. And you can then go and celebrate up there. Here on the right-hand side, look at this house coming up here on the right. Look how beautiful that is. This one here. This was the private residence of a lady. Well, lady. Some called her lady, some called her not a lady. She had made her money selling her charms. If you see what I mean. She did not sell jewelry. It's the other charms. And yes, she was a lady of the night. That's mostly when she did her business. And when I say business because she was a businesswoman. Here up on our right-hand side, that is l'Avenue Montaigne. That's where you have the fashion designers, one of the accesses for fashion designers, and the Canadian Embassy, by the way. So they're on Avenue Montaigne. This Paiva lady who built her house there, she had come from a very, very small village in Russia. She's very, very poor. She made her way to Paris and she said, you know, I'm going to have a house on les Champs-Élysées, because it was mid-1800s already, very fashionable. And she did, in the end. Yeah? When I said she was a businesswoman, she didn't sell to just anyone, okay? It was just politicians, you know, leaders of the industry and everything. And what I find quite funny is that her house is now the seat of a gentleman's club. I find that really ironic, you know. Well, it always was, wasn't it? Yes. There were 3 of them at the time who were really, really, really famous. And they were everywhere, you know. You go down to the Riviera, they were there. You went to Normandy, to the seaside resorts, etc. They were there. Now down here, we're going to now leave les Champs-Élysées. We'll be back at the bottom of the avenue in a minute. We're going to go towards Winston Churchill. Off on our left-hand side here, at sort of 10 o'clock, there you have a residence from the 1700s, which is the residence of the French president, an office of the French president, right there. See where you see a bit of gold there? That's le Palais de l'Élysée. It's where François Hollande, our president, has his office. We're now driving along Avenue Winston Churchill. On our right-hand side is Le Grand Palais. On our left-hand side, Le Petit Palais. One is big, one is small. Big palace, small palace. They both date back to the World Fair of 1900. Le Grand Palais, here on our right-hand side, it is one of the monuments in Paris that are used every year for fashion shows during the fashion weeks. There's all sorts of different events that take place there. Look here on the left-hand side, look at that statue. Yeah, it's a brilliant statue of Winston Churchill. This whole area here, it was very much transformed in the along the 1890s in preparation for that big World Fair that was to take place in 1900. And so the 2 buildings now behind us were used for the exhibitions of the World Fair. The bridge you'll see here in a minute on your right-hand side as we take a left. It was inaugurated in 1900. It was the Tsar of Russia who inaugurated it. Now, why is that? It's because in the early 1890s there'd been a treaty of alliance between France and Russia that had been signed. So, you know, as a tribute to the alliance, the bridge was dedicated to the Tsar who signed the alliance and then inaugurated by his son. The son was Nicholas II, the one who was killed during the Russian Revolution, if you've heard of that a bit. You know, the family who were massacred. And then there was Anastasia, who kept popping up like Elvis Presley. Yeah? Okay, same thing. Well, that's what they do, isn't it? Everybody keeps saying Elvis everywhere. How old would he be now? 83?
Still alive, still walking.
Still walking, definitely. Oh yeah. So the right-hand side of the bridge is dedicated to France, and then the left-hand side of the bridge towards the east is dedicated to Russia. If you do a cruise on the river, and you cruise underneath the bridge here, and on one side you have the coat of arms of St. Petersburg, and on the other side you have the coat of arms of Paris.
They said it's real gold too.
We are driving upriver. I'm not sure you can say that actually, because you can't drive on a river, can you? But you know what I'm saying? We're driving towards the, what do you call it? The spring of the river, where it starts. Okay. If we were on the boat, right, going in the opposite direction, we would be in the direction in which the river flows. Hence, on our right-hand side here, the right bank. On the other side, the left bank. Okay, that's what we say here. Now, Seine here on our right-hand side, the river, it's the first road of Paris. Before you had people who settled down in the area. And the very first one, they settled down around about where your hotel is located. The Celts, yeah. For centuries, it's been believed that they'd settled down on the main island that is here. But no, we know now that their main settlement was out there, which is where you're staying. When the Romans then came in 52 BC, they found these people that had also settled down in smaller, communities.